Hey, welcome to another junior geometry video. We're now going to turn our attention to some more geometric reasoning rules. And this first of the three we're going to learn about in the next are all to do with parallel lines. And the first is called corresponding angles. So here's the rule. Corresponding angles that are on parallel lines are equal. So corresponding angles on parallel lines are equal. If you have a look at the diagram I've got, this gives away what are corresponding angles. So let's pull out of here and get into our GeoGebra program and start chatting about it. So we've got some parallel lines here, and they mean, we put arrows on them. Parallel means that they will stay the same distance apart no matter what I try and do with them, right? I can muck around and try and do stuff, but they're going to stay the same distance apart, right? So now I'm going to chuck in my transversal. Transversal basically is a line that cuts through a pair of other lines, right? So I've got this line segment CD and AB, and I've drawn another line segment EF, and it cuts through at points J and K. Right, so here's what this line here is called a transversal. So let's show you what corresponding angles are. Right, here's a pair of corresponding angles. This angle is 144 and this angle is 144. So angle EJ to B, EJB, is the same as angle JKD. So these two angles are equal. They are called corresponding angles, right? It doesn't matter what I do with the transversal. If I muck around and move it, you can see that they are corresponding and they are always equal. Right, well, that's not the only corresponding angle on this diagram. Let me show you another corresponding. Hang on, before I do that, corresponding angles are often nicknamed F angles because you can see here it forms an F shape, right? An F shape. Okay, let's show you another pair of corresponding angles. Here we go. Here's a pair of corresponding angles on the other side. The F is now going backwards, and basically this angle of AJE, which is this angle of 33, is the same as angle CKJ, which is also 33. So again, I can muck around with my transversal. They will stay the same because they're corresponding. Right, there's a third pair of corresponding. Have you figured it out? It is, boom, an upside down F up here, right? So these two angles are corresponding as well. They are equal. I can muck around with my transversal again, and they are still going to stay equal. And the last pair, have you figured it out? Not only is it upside down, but it's backwards. It's this F backwards, upside down here. And these two angles are corresponding as well. So when we draw a pair of parallel lines and draw a transversal through them, we end up with 4 different types of corresponding angles. Right, let's pop back into our PowerPoint and wrap up with an example. So here's an example. We are going to determine the size of angle EGH. EGH, which is this red angle up here. We're going to determine the size of that angle. So we're going to say angle EGH. You prefer to write it as angle EGH like this. And it's going to be equal to 108 degrees. Why is it 108? Remember what we chatted about before. In geometric reasoning, we can't just write down an answer. We must provide a geometrical proof or geometrical reason, and the reason is corresponding angles on parallel lines. You could say corresponding angles on parallel lines are equal, but again, you're allowed to just say corresponding angles on parallel lines. Now remember, there are shortcuts for these reasons, and the shortcut for this reason is correspond, and then we use the angle sign, and then we use 2 little slashes to represent parallel, which means parallel lines. All right, that's corresponding angles, the first of our 3 little geometrical rules we're chatting about. So thanks for watching.